I am Tony Sharella, and I am interviewing you today a little bit about your reading history and
Okay.
how that has impacted you in your career. If you don't mind, just introducing yourself and just reflecting on how reading has been impacting you while in your undergrad degree.
Okay. Hi, my name is Threet. I am a student at BMCC. And right now I'm studying my undergrad at Liberal Arts. This is my last year. But for reading, the question I believe is what were your reading experience like in school? And for me, it was a mixed thing for me because in some classes, reading felt like an obligation. With others, it's like we had to prepare for tests, writing papers. However, in other situations, especially when teachers gave us freedom to interpret text or content with our own lives or, engaging more, it became more fun because who don't like to explain about their self, learn more within versus I'm hands-on. So it was mixed emotions. So for me, I think that reading was definitely mixed emotions and the connections between the experience of memorizing and more important understanding. I love it. So that's what I think about reading experience in school for me.
Okay. So can you explain how that is going to be interpreted in your career and your path right now, where you are going or planning on going to?
Okay, so for me with liberal arts, I plan on going to do production management next for my bachelor's degree. So reading is a lot with all of it. Like I gotta read to find resources for the material. I gotta read to do projects with like the science and things. Reading is everything. Reading for the agreements with different trademarking places. Like without reading, I wouldn't understand how I choose this career, honestly speaking. But I think reading is very important for production management.
Awesome. Awesome. So do you say you develop a love with reading?
Yeah, so I think the next question, did you develop a love for reading? If yes, how? If no, why not? Yes, I did develop a love for reading through it. It took time. What helped most was when teachers allowed room for discussions, encouraging us to ask questions rather than just look for the right answer. Being able to connect reading to the real world issues and to my personal experience made it feel relevant, right? Outside
Yeah.
of school, I also grew to love reading because I could choose text, especially literature, essays, and articles that reflected my interest in culture, art, and society.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. It's just so amazing how we're able to understand from a different profession, how that can really impact people. So like has this always been a thing for your past careers and your future careers? How has that played like a whole impacted throughout your entire journey through working?
What literature skills are
Yeah.
part of career? Okay, so as a liberal arts student, literature skills are central to my future career. However, persuade teaching, writing, research, or role in communications, I will need strong reading and writing skills to analyze information, communication ideas clearly, and think critical. Literature also plays a role in collaboration and leadership. Since being able to read and interpret diverse perspectives is a key to problem solving and working with others.
Awesome. Awesome. So do you agree that those teachers and those different content areas, like which ones stood out to you the most and how did they like make it the meaningful experience that,
Okay, so English. Teachers made English read and meaningful by introducing literature that dealt with universal themes, love, conflict, morality, and justice. Discussions-based lessons helped me engage with the text more deeply. Still, reading could have been improved if we had more opportunities to choose text over ourselves, explore contemporary works alongside classics, you know what I'm saying? And as far as history, reading history classes was often about textbooks, primary source. What made it meaningful was when teachers encouraged us to analyze the perspective behind the text and think about how history connects to the present. However, it could be more improved if they had been more emphasized or diverse voices and global perspective, not just the dominant narratives. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's kind of what we're trying to practice here in our Masters of Teaching Literacy, just understanding literacy in that direct format and just understanding how complex that it can be and learning the different ways on how to understand those different texts, you know. So I definitely appreciate you today, Mr. Threet, for coming and letting me get to know a little bit about your reading history.
It's my honor. Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
I really enjoyed doing Mr. Threet's interview. He explained that he had a lot of mixed emotions about reading and his connections towards reading. He really acknowledged a lot of those teachers that was able to express his creativity through the rainy text. They really made him feel safe by creating an environment where he could express his freedom towards interpreting text. He said that he made a lot of connections of reading to his personal life, which made it more engaging for him to understand the text. His love for reading developed over time and through relevant discussions that many of his teachers gave him rather than them just throwing a textbook at him. He explained reading to be a necessary skill for him in his career path as a production manager. So he does more of like camera experience, and he's basically explained it to be more so in the action. And he said that he needed reading skills towards those skill sets of production management. He explained that reading could have been improved if students was able to choose the text and be able to explore the concept more in depth. After hearing his story, it really made me realize how powerful student choice and meaningful connections are when it comes to wrapping the text into their personal lives. I realized that students can really connect to text and their own experiences and having the freedom to interpret the text and explore it in a creative way. Uh, Reading becomes more of a than just like a requirement. It becomes a tool for understanding the world and understanding themselves. I was inspired on how intentional this discussion was to him and how supportive his teachers were creating those relationships and helping him build those long life lasting reading skills. One idea that I have taken from making improvements from this would be improving reading skills, helping students provide opportunities where they can select the text. He basically expressed his interest in them by being able to have activities that design personal connections. So, me being able to put that in the real life health field when I'm giving text out to students, just allowing them to have student choice and allowing them to express their creativity and making thoughtful conversations about what they read. So, this approach can definitely help me make reading more meaningful and motivating for every student experience.